Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
What up? Multiplex. Hello, welcome. This is episode 28 of Multiplex Loves Movies. We are here to talk about all things movie news, and also just, maybe have a fun laugh together, maybe share a nice time. Robert's looking awfully serious. Let's go around and introduce the panel, starting off with the burp machine himself. Robert, what is it? The eight-legged freak Parker, or what do we call you now?
Yeah, I debated showing up in my full spider costume with the hairy legs and everything, but I decided against that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, and
that joke is what that is.
Yeah.
These two don't.
Yeah, they don't get it. Anyway, okay, so next over to the other regular to the show, Mr. Cody Newberry. How are you, sir?
I'm very upset that we have a Schmodown person, and now I'm the second build person introduced on this show. I see how it is. We all have to suck up to the Schmodown somehow, but I'm excited to be here. I don't like that Kaleb's here. I like when he's at work, and I like when the macaw is present, so me and her can disagree on every topic. So this is going to be an okay episode, not the best.
That is accurate. Yeah, like Cody alluded to, we do have Kaleb Koho here, producer extraordinaire. How are you, sir?
Oh my God, I'm back again. I don't work Tuesdays anymore, so this is fun. I get to be here more often. This will be fun. I just died in the middle of that right there. But I'm happy to be here. I like being on the premiere movie news show on the internet now.
Actually, this is the show where people dislike the show before it's even started. Although that didn't happen today. We're on a roll so far.
We should invite them.
Someone must not have been
on the show. Whoever dislikes the video, Multiplex would love to bring you in, and we'll have a discussion. You could be on one of our shows. Just let us know you're the one.
Yeah, let us know who you are.
Whoever dislikes our videos, we will give you a crisp $5 bill if you just come to tell us who you are.
Fuck off.
If you tell us who you are and where you live.
But anywho, welcome to the show. If you've never seen the show before, as Kaleb alluded to, we are the premier movie news show on the internet, and we go through the movie news every week. We took last week off because there was a fiery shitstorm that happened a few days earlier when we all decided to talk about the Oscars together, but that's okay. We're back. We're ready to go, and we're going to start the show the way that we always do, and that is with the box office. So, talking about the box office, this is going to be not including the President's Day part of the weekend, I believe, right, Kaleb?
Correct.
Perfect. So, this is just the 3-day weekend, starting with Sonic the Hedgehog coming in at number 1 with 58 million. We've got Birds of Prey at number 2 with 17.4 million. Fantasy Island, another newcomer along with Sonic, at 12.4. The Photograph at 12.2, so just underneath that. And Bad Boys for Life sticking around the top 5 with another 11.5 million. So I think the huge story here is Sonic, because like I said, we didn't have a show last week, but if we did have a show, I would have told you I think this movie's not going to do very well. I don't think it looks very good. Turns out the movie's actually pretty decent, and it made a fuckload of money. And if you include the fact that if you look at the President's Day weekend, the 4-day, it's even more money. It might be around, I think, like 65, 70. So this is a huge win for Paramount. I know they intended this thing to be the start of a franchise. I think this could have legs. The other new release, Downhill, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing, coming in at number 10. That's a little rough. 4.6 million. That is woof. I'm going to start with Robert on this one. Robert, anything about the box office that you find interesting here?
I haven't heard of 2 of these 5 movies. That's just the truth.
That's
But
fair.
I'm not gonna lie, 3 out of 5 is definitely better than 288 out of 1,000. So I have not seen any of these films. I'm excited to finally see Birds of Prey. I'm going to see it next week while I'm on location in Florida. I'm gonna go see some Birds of Prey, maybe twice. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm excited to finally see that movie. And honestly, I was one of the people who wasn't dreading the release of Sonic, so I'm actually kind of glad it did well.
No, the movie is pretty fun. I think the only person here other than me who's seen it is Kaleb Koho. So what do you think about all this?
I'm happy it made money because that was I had a fun time watching Sonic. I might go see it again. It was fun. It's not that special. There's nothing very unique about the story. Jim Carrey's fun. I thought James Marsden was pretty actually surprisingly solid. But overall, fun movie. I'm glad it made that much money. I would watch a second movie if they made it. So I don't know. I'm not a huge Sonic fan in general, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. The movie cost $85 million to make, and worldwide it's already made 113.
Damn.
So that's pretty good for that movie. Cody, we know you don't care about Sonic. I think that's fair to say. Is that correct?
I'm just confused, but sure. Yeah, no thanks.
So I'll pose this question to you because I know you saw Birds of Prey this week. It only dropped 48%, which is actually pretty good for a superhero film like this to make another 17 million. The weird thing about it, though, is that this movie is only made 145 worldwide. It's got to make about another 150 to even break even after marketing and all that stuff. How do you feel about that? Your thoughts on the movie? What do you think about Birds of Prey not doing as hot as we would have hoped?
Well, thank you for asking that question, but I want to bring up something real quick. So Downhill, I thought this was something coming out of Cannes or whatever that was highly holy crap.
Sunday.
It's got a 39 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 12% audience score. So somebody hates this movie, and I thought I was really excited for it, but maybe not anymore. Back to Birds of Prey. I think that the audience, the general audience, is not excited to see DC movies, really, at this point. Joker was a different feel, but they did Harley Quinn, which I think is a good marketing strategy, but it still was tied to Suicide Squad, which if most people, even general public's, not a fan of that movie. Plus it was rated R, so it automatically drops the comic book rating. Deadpool was made for rated R, and after seeing Birds of Prey, I would say that it pretty much needed to be rated R for what they did. In it, I would hate to see what a PG-13 version of that movie is. I like the movie overall. I think I rank it the 3rd in the DCEU kind of thing. But that's not saying really much because I don't really like most of those films. But I think more people should see it, especially if you like Deadpool. This movie is completely for you. It is a Deadpool type. It's very chaotic, but I think it was shot that way for the sake of Harley Quinn being chaotic. So if you can get through that, I think you'll like it. It just wasn't my favorite thing I've ever seen. So, but I don't know if it's going to make that money. It's rated R, and this is always the time in the box office that you can see the numbers start picking up, 58 from Sonic, and now everything's hitting the teens. So next come around, and March is heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy loaded. So it needs to either crush this weekend or it's going to be a kaput on.
Well, and even next weekend we're getting the R-rated Invisible Man. Not this upcoming week, but the weekend after that. So I think once that hits,
doesn't look bad.
No, it looks very good. I hear it's very good. So we've got one. It's got one more weekend, I think, to really kind of make some money here. The only wide releases this weekend, which we're going to talk about, are Call to the Wild. The Lodge is going into wide release, and then also The Boy 2. So there's nothing really combating this type of movie. It'll be interesting. I hope it makes more money. I liked the movie. I'd like to see another one in this type of this vein. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure. I did like one thing that I saw though on the internet. Someone was like, because the audience score for Birds of Prey is very high. The Rotten Tomato score, I think it is in the it's in the high 70s to low 80s.
It is 78.
78. Okay,
It is
so
certified French.
and what's the audience score?
79.
Okay,
they're pretty
so
much, they're
people
on
like
par.
this movie. Generally, people are seeming to enjoy Birds of Prey. The funny thing that I liked that I saw online was somebody said like, "Oh, so you'll enjoy the movie about a crazy maniac murdering a bunch of people when it's colorful and like Deadpool, but when it's like Joker, you all fucking hate it." And I was like, that's a fucking fair criticism that I never thought about, but it's 100% true.
I hope the one thing from this movie is I hope Ewan McGregor is available for other DC movies, like because I could love to see his version of Black Mask being in more movies. Like it's crazy good.
Didn't Suicide Squad like clean up at the box office? I seem to remember that movie making a ton of even through all of the bad press, everybody like a lot of people hating it. That movie made bank, which is weird that like now when they come out with a movie that like seemingly is like I haven't seen it, but seemingly is much better than Suicide Squad, it's like flustering.
I think it's the decline. I think that's what they're facing is like they've released more movies and a lot of them haven't hit like to the level of an MCU in people's eyes, or at least overall, and they just keep trailing downward. So then it's kind of a burnt out at this point. Like even Batman vs Superman, when Batman vs Superman released, it didn't make clearly enough money to have those two characters put on the same screen.
Yeah, Suicide Squad made much more money than BVS.
Yeah, and
Suicide Squad.
Which
Suicide
also
Squad did. It came out in August.
And BVS was in like
March.
Yes.
So Suicide Squad made 133 opening weekend. That's almost 100 more than what Birds of Prey did opening weekend, and then it went on to make 325 domestically and 746 worldwide.
I think the release was stupid too.
Yeah, I don't
think February was the first. I know that Deadpool did the first thing, but we've already seen the rated R comic book movie at this point.
Weirdly, didn't Kingsman do it before Deadpool?
They did February as well, yeah.
Yeah, but it's I still
different
it's a bigger property. It's a bigger property, yeah.
Yeah, they did it, but like the Deadpool did so good because their marketing was effing brilliant on Deadpool 1. It made it a love story movie and like showed everybody like just Ryan Reynolds as that person, like in no makeup, and like then brought people in. Like a lot of people got tricked in, like boyfriends convinced their girlfriends to go see those movies, and that's what happened.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And the other thing I think with Birds of Prey is like even DCEU fans or Worlds of DC fans don't know what is or isn't in the franchise anymore, because like Joker wasn't, and now there's the Batman. We don't know if the Batman is, and it's like at this point no one's steering that ship, and like there was not enough buzz or noise about this movie coming out, period. Like for me, like I saw stuff like a little bit before, but like I didn't feel that like this is an event movie to go see. Birds of Prey is coming, it's the next Worlds of DC thing, and like even when I went and saw it, I walked out of that and I still don't have a clear picture of like what is this franchise anymore. So like I think that also affects people as to like they don't know what they're seeing or what to expect from what's next.
Yeah, absolutely fair. All right. But I will say, if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, go check it out. It is worth your time. It's only an hour and 45 minutes long. Like it's really not a huge commitment. It's a fun movie. I think that even the people who don't love the movie can admit there's some enjoyment to be had there. I think it's worth supporting. So go check it out. Let's move on to the next topic, which if I could pull it up, because there we go. I found it. Okay, let's go to the next thing, which we're going to go on a little bit of a Disney kick here. First off, supposedly there's a Rapunzel movie happening at Disney, live action. But it isn't going to be a Tangled remake. It might be a Tangled remake. It might not necessarily be a Tangled remake. But they're going to do some sort of a Disney live-action Rapunzel-esque movie. I'll start with Cody on this one. Do you want to see a live-action Rapunzel movie? And would you rather it be a Tangled remake or not?
That is literally like putting a loaded shotgun to my face at this point. I don't know. because one, I am one of the biggest supporters in this community that I honestly think Tangled is probably one of the best animated movies of the 2010s. I think it is the best animated movie of the 2010s. So, no, personally, I don't want to see a live action version of that because they have a lot of fun in that movie that I don't think will translate well into a live action story. Like the horse, Pascal, I don't think those things will translate good or well in that movie at all. I don't think the song numbers will live up to it. I think the two characters cast as those movies, Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi, I think are the perfect cast for it. So I'd have to have them as the characters, and that would just be weird. But a normal Rapunzel movie sounds awful if it doesn't follow Tangle's storyline.
Yeah.
Like Tangle's storyline of Rapunzel is probably the best storytelling of what Rapunzel is. Like it brought a character personally as a older male that does not care about Rapunzel at all. I love that movie. I find it very heartwarming and just a lovely movie, pretty much. So to see it in a different tone, like it works with Mulan. Like you could take Mulan and turn her into the battle, princess that she is, and make that work. This one, very reliant on the songs, very reliant on the different characters. So if you release a Rapunzel and people go into it and it's not Tangled, then they'll be like, what am I watching? I think they're walking a slippery slope. They either have to do it, which I don't want it, or don't do it at all. Like I don't think a regular one will work.
I'm on your side with this. I agree. I don't really want to see this remade as Tangled. I don't know what they would do with a live action that wasn't based on Tangled. But
I think her hair would look awful too.
Like that's probably possible. That's probably
Yikes.
true. Robert, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, I also love Tangled. Like, honestly, some days it's in contention for my favorite Disney movie. Like, I really, really enjoy this movie, and I don't think that, it needs. I don't think a live action remake of it is justified. If they're gonna make a random Rapunzel movie, like, it's just going to be the story of Rapunzel, which is very similar to the story. She's locked in a tower, somebody climbs up her hair, is an evil person. Like, it's going to be like that fairy tale done again, which we've seen that kind of movie made by Disney many times. It would make a ton of money probably, so Disney's probably going to do it. But, like, I don't think it's a movie that, like, anybody's calling for, that anybody needs to see. Like, I'd rather, Disney's going to put money into making, whether it be a remake or not, I'd rather them make something a little bit more unique. Even if it is like a remake something else. We don't need another Tangled. We don't need another princess movie remade.
Go watch the Tangled sequel television series. I believe it's called Tangled Ever After. I've only seen the movie, like the original movie that premiered. That was kind of like the pilot for the show. I haven't actually seen the show, but that was actually really good. It has a couple of really great original songs that I really enjoyed, and I saw that because of Disney Plus. I guess the show is still going on, but all the old seasons are on Disney Plus now. Just go watch that if you want a Rapunzel fix, or make another movie with that. Make a Tangled 2. It doesn't have to be about her hair or whatever. You can make whatever, but like make a Tangled 2. I don't think this needs to be remade. Koho, what about you?
No. If they're gonna do this, don't do Tangled. Tangled's been done. If you're gonna do the story of Rapunzel and you've got a fun, different way of doing it, fine. But like, I think the worst thing you can do is try and do Tangled, because it's kind of getting proven to the point where people are going to these live action remakes, but no one likes these live action remakes that much. Like Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, they did well. People didn't hate those, but like people like did not like Lion King. Most people did not like Aladdin. No one responded very well to Dumbo. Like, they're not doing very well critically, and people seem to be really annoyed with them. So like, if you're gonna do Rapunzel, you're better to not make it a Tangled remake.
Or if you're gonna do a new movie with a property that's old, try something different, like our next topic, which is going to be there's an Aladdin 2 coming, guys. Is it gonna be the return of Jafar? We don't know. Actually, we kind of do know. They said it's going to be a completely new, original story, a sequel to the 2019 Guy Ritchie Aladdin film. Completely new story. completely new Aladdin tale, not a remake of Return of Jafar or King of Thieves. I'm actually kind of into this. It depends on who's behind it. I don't know if Guy Ritchie is returning, but what'd you say?
I guarantee he's returning. That movie made a shit ton of money.
It made $1 billion. Yeah. I'm one of those people who didn't hate Aladdin. I did not love it, but I definitely did not hate it. I like it a little more each time I watch it, actually. But I think it's one of the better of the recent ones. Like if you're looking at Dumbo and Lion King, I think that, and Maleficent, I think that this is one of the better ones. So if they're going to take a completely new approach, I'm into it because you get Alan Menken to write some new songs. I think that cast is really good. I think Mina Massoud and help me out, who plays Jasmine,
Naomi
Scott. I think she's really good. I like what they set up with Will Smith and the maiden girl. Like I think there's stuff to explore here that you could do that could be very fun without having creepy young Jafar being there asking to, what do they ask everybody? To bring the lamp. Yes, we don't have to bring anyone the lamp this time. So I'm actually kind of into this. Koho, what about you?
I am too. Honestly, like I don't hate the live action Aladdin. I would prefer no sequels to these, but like if they're gonna do it, I'm glad it's not Return of Jafar, because also the Return of Jafar movie is bad. If they jump straight to King of Thieves, maybe, because that's good. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do. I'm personally hoping for like a Dexter Fletcher to do it, someone who has a different visual style, who understands like spectacle, but also storytelling, and is able to bring something totally new with those characters, because I like those actors. I liked most of what I saw. Thank God there's no Jafar. Just keep Jafar away, or recast him. Have him come out of the lamp as Patrick Stewart. Who cares? Or something like bring someone more experienced or older or like more menacing than young Jafar. So like I don't know. I think it could be cool. I'm cautiously optimistic until I see a director's name on it.
Cody, you seem to be very much against this idea.
Oh, I didn't know where you got that from. The best thing from this movie is Bring Me the Lamp, the meme that our friend group has created, Tim has created. So, yeah. If you're going to do one, then do, what is it, Prince of Thieves or
King of Thieves?
King of Thieves, yeah.
King of Thieves. Do King of Thieves, because King of Thieves, even on a storyline level, is bomb. It wasn't great because they didn't have the cast power to bring back certain, it wasn't the same live up to what Aladdin was, but that's a perfect storyline. Aladdin's dad and that entire battle, like that's cool. Like, please, I don't want to see Will Smith and them go on an adventure doing what? Like, there's a giant Iago condor that flies through in this first one. What are you bringing back? Dragons? Like, no, thank you. I think this is just Disney is their best cash grabs ever. Like, let's do the Aladdin 2, but let's make it something different. I think the cast is fine, but it should have been a one-off. It should have been moved on. Make something new, please. I don't want to see there's an honest reason that most sequels in Disney never work. Because it's almost lightning in a bottle and they catch off and they go well. Like Pixar does it to the most part okay. Like Toy Story was pretty good. I still like Monsters University. But Disney itself, the Lion Kings weren't, the Aladdin ones weren't, a Little Mermaids were trash. Like you may like them, I don't know. But they were trash. So like I just want original properties. Like you made Aladdin once, make another character like that. Like of something different, completely different. Not all topics are already burned up in this universe. Like, let's be real. So, no, please burn this at the stake. Like, I do not want to see Aladdin 2.
Robert, did you ever see Aladdin 1?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you saw it or not. What do you think about all this?
I think it's interesting. Like, if they're talking about making it a brand new story that these characters go on a new adventure, I'm all for that. I think attaching the Aladdin name to it's just going to bring in the bucks. But like if they're not just rehashing an old idea and they are going for something original and new, I'm happy for it. If we're talking about a filmmaker, I'd love to see Terrence Malick take over this one.
Yes. Let's fucking go.
I wanted to see Tim's face.
What?
No, but I agree Guy Ritchie is not the right person to continue on with this property. But if they bring somebody unique and original on, a good screenplay, new songs, like if they are bringing a fresh take to these characters that people do love, I would still see it.
But what do they do? Like, we're not talking. They're apparently burning the next two sequels. So what do you do with these characters besides make a trek through the desert? I know. I'm asking this to the entire panel. It wasn't a shot at you. I'm just curious. Like, where do they possibly go with these characters? He's free. He got punted, and we're not bringing back CGI Jafar.
What if Aladdin hears them, but he won't?
No! Be gone, Satan!
Come on,
I won't.
I have a pitch.
Yes.
But I'm going to wait for Disney to call me and ask for it so that I can get my story by credit on Aladdin too.
You're already on their payroll.
This is true. I am. So let's move on to the next topic, which is something I'm really excited to talk about. First, there was Keaton. Then there were two other guys that did it. Then there was Vail. Then there was Batfleck. Now there is Battinson. Battinson is here, motherfuckers, and he looks dope. I changed my profile picture on Twitter to Battinson. I took a picture of the thing and I printed it out, and it's hanging on my wall. I'm pumped. Matt Reeves, give it to me. I'm so excited. Yeah, let's just talk about this. If we've seen it, what do we think? I think he looks dope. If we notice here in this picture, the bat symbol is the fucking handgun that was used to shoot the Waynes.
That's fucking
motherfucker. Sweet mercy, mother of God. That is dope. I'm so excited. This is, again, we don't know. I think we do know. I think Reeves said this isn't going to be. Yes, you're right, Garth. I forgot. I'm so sorry. There was Adam West. I forgot to say that. But yeah, I think Reeves did say this is not part of the Worlds of DC or the DCEU.
No. Did he say it about it?
I think so.
Okay.
Either way, I'm very excited for this. I think Robert Pattinson is going to be a very, very good Bruce Wayne. And we'll see how he is as Batman, but I think as Bruce Wayne, this is like perfect casting. So we'll see what happens. But this first look of the suit, I'm very impressed. It looks just different enough, and but just the same to make it oh so sweet. I think it's a nice mix of the Nolan like real life what a Batman would do and the kind of like comic booky Worlds of DC Batman, Ben Affleck Batman. So I'm really into this. Robert, I'll start with you. What do you think?
I love his jawline. I am excited for this. Like, I wish we would have been. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's a jaw. That's a Batman right there. I am very excited for this as well. Robert Pattinson is not an actor I've kept up with a heck of a lot. Like, I haven't seen a ton of his indie stuff post Twilight. But I've heard that like haven't seen Lighthouse or anything like that. But from what I have heard is that he is an incredibly good actor who does have a lot of depth, which I wholeheartedly believe is what Batman needs. It is a character that he doesn't just have to be he's the moody guy in the corner who's buff. Like, he can be a character that has a lot more depth unspoken than spoken, which is what I think a lot went wrong with like your Clooneys and your Kilmores and your stuff like that. I think like they didn't really have an actor who was playing the character correctly. I love Bale in the role, both as Batman and Bruce Wayne. So, and I really like Batfleck too. So coming off of both of those two, I'm interested to see how new of a take this is going to be.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Koho, I'll go to you next. Your thoughts on Battinson?
I am just so stoked we're getting a Batman movie again, because like it's like there's been enough time from Dark Knight Rises for me where it's like we haven't had like a real proper Batman movie, and like every piece of information I see, the casting,
Is
Matt
Dark Knight
Reeves,
Rises a proper Batman?
go away. I like Dark Knight Rises. Leave it alone.
I do too.
Like
That
that
was a
means
good
You leave Christian Bale alone. But I saw the costume test here and it looks freaking cool. I love the bat logo. Doesn't have like the ears of the tail, but it's like made out of the gut. Like that comes straight out of the Kevin Smith book on Batman. And that's a really cool idea that I love. Overall, I'm ready for Batman. Give me the Batman movie. I'm ready. I'm so happy with all the villain casting and all the things we've heard about it. I'm ready to see it. I'm excited. This is I think my number one most anticipated movie of next year already. So,
Cody, do you like Batman?
I do. I like Batman a lot. About time that we see a Batman standalone. Like, the best Batman is a Batman that doesn't work with anybody. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I understand the Justice League happened, but I don't like to see the pair up. Like, I want to see Batman be Batman. And I don't really care who's in the cowl. And it could have cast anybody. Like, I'm fully okay with that because, one, don't work for a studio. And two, Heath Ledger and Keaton were cast, and everybody said, "Are you guys stupid?" And they turned out to be. So they've made the decision. They trust it. I think he's going to be awesome. I am excited for all the casting news from it. So sign me up. I don't know where they're going, but it seems like it's going to pretty much be a Gotham. It's just going to be Gotham with all the crime lords pretty much placed in it, besides the Clown. Like, there seems to be a lot of people. Like, I've heard Penguin, and so like.
Or will Joaquin Phoenix show up?
I don't think we want to tie them together.
I hope not.
If they do,
I'm with Cody.
Imagine
if I just personally would love it to end with like the scene things, and you just hear a laugh, and you just see the clapping.
My pitch. My pitch is that you have the whole movie. You don't hear a word of Joker. Nothing of that shit. You maybe like, because from what I hear, it's going to be like an Arkham thing. Like, that's where all these villains are, is that he's going to be like in Arkham, and you see like a bunch of different villains in there. And so you might see like they walk past one cell that's like, oh, who's in there? Oh, that's the Clown, or something. Like, they might give you some bullshit like that. But then in a post-credit scene, you have something like that. Like, whatever, you get
if he gets on like the speaker and says, why is it glitching? It keeps popping. Sorry. If you say if he just said,
what you want a Joker's line to be.
Yeah.
Why is it speaker?
Well, no, if he would have just said like, "Hey, Brucey," or something, like over the speaker or something somewhere, I would love. Oh, here we go. Here's a pitch from Koho. Here we go.
Never mind. Whatever. It's just imagine like the entire movie you keep this Batman-y, but like imagine like the end of the movie, like you said in Arkham, you see him, but like when you hear him, he says like, because Arthur Fleck thinks it's his brother, right? So he says, "Hey, brother," and like that's how you tie it, or something like that, or even like when they show you the origin of Batman, it's the scene from Joker, and that's how you know it's in the same world. And like that's like a twist towards the end.
The origin of
I don't want to see the origin.
Sweet mercy, don't show it to me again.
I don't want to. But a cool way to make it work is if you're going to show it, is to like a snippet of the Joker scene, and then you're like, oh shit, it's the same world, you know? Like, I don't know.
I'd rather just see a post-credit scene. Yeah. If they're gonna connect it, I'd rather it just be a post-credit scene.
I saw in the chat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I saw that, like, this is like potentially rumored to be like Long Halloween. That'd be super dope if that's like what they're going at. Yeah, that would be really dope.
Long Halloween would be sweet.
I kind of like the idea of it being a super contained, like kind of claustrophobic story of like where they're in Arkham or Blackgate. Like, most of the time. Like I love like seeing Gotham City, but we've seen a billion takes on Gotham City. Like I would really like just sort of like a detective, really claustrophobic take. But that's just me. And continue, Tim. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I like that pitch. I like the pitch of it being basically an Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it doesn't
video
have
game
to be like
adaptation.
a 2.5 hour movie. Make it like 2:45 or 2 hours, like even just shorter. And like, you know, the first half hour, it's like, you know, introducing him and Alfred and Gordon and all that kind of stuff. And then like the inmates take over the asylum, and then they're in Arkham for the next hour and a half. Like that's something I would really like to see.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be Indiana Jones, guys. Indiana Jones is riding again. Are we excited? It's going to start shooting in a couple months. Spielberg is back. Harrison Ford is back. Kathleen Kennedy is producing, and they have said that, you know, this is not going to be a like handoff to the next person. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be Indiana Jones 5. Cody, I'm going to start with you. I don't really know how you. Oh no, I do know how you feel about this franchise. For me, well, let's start. You go ahead. Go ahead, Cody. What do you think about this?
The first 3 films are fantastic. I know the internet tells me I'm supposed to say something different, but no, I think the first 3 movies are fantastic movies. They're perfect. Indy is perfect in all 3. The 4th one comes. I had to do perfect attendance in school, and they took me to the theater and showed me this movie. I wish I would have missed school on the 4th one because it was not worth seeing in the theater. I hope the wheelchair rides. I really do. I hope the wheelchair is all ready and the gurney is ready. The man can't run. It's been showed in Blade Runner. It's been showed in Force Awakens. The man doesn't have a get-up. His hip is probably titanium. Gonna be real honest with you. This is a dumb move. I get it. You put the fedora, you can literally put a trailer out there of the whip cracking, the fedora, and him standing there, and people are going to flock to the theaters. This movie is going to kill Harrison Ford. Everybody needs to abort mission and get him out of there. I love this. The 3 movies I hold very near and dear to my heart. I think they are fantastic, but the 4th one was an abomination. Spielberg being back for it doesn't help anybody's cases ever because he had a hand in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So I don't know where they go. They need to pass the buck. They need to move it to somebody else if you're going to get this franchise going. Or it's okay to let Indy, not real Indy, but Indy die. Like, it's okay not to do a 5th one. We don't need it. The first 3 are so good when they wrap up. Like, it's fine where it is. This one's, again, like Disney, I understand you got a lot of stuff, but are you hurting for cash? Because it seems like it at times. Because you just keep throwing cash grabs.
Yeah, I'm with Cody on this one. I like the first 3 movies a lot. Like, the first one and the 3rd one, I think, are clearly the better 2, but I still love Temple of Doom. Like, I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I mean, that movie's fun as hell. Yeah. So I think that movie is fun as hell. To say that movie's bad, I think, is just people being butthurt and probably haven't seen it enough to really appreciate it. Because that was me. I always said it was bad, but I had only seen it once, and then as an adult rewatching it, I like that movie a lot. So yeah, no, but I don't need this movie. I don't need to see another Indiana Jones movie. I just don't. I didn't like the 4th one. I don't care. I like Harrison Ford and I like Steven Spielberg. I just don't care. Robert, I'll go to you next. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I just don't think this is necessary. Like, can we make other adventure movies? Like, are we out of ideas for adventure movies? Like, I am all for seeing new adventure movies, but do we need an Indy 5? Absolutely not. Especially not with Harrison Ford. I really don't like Temple of Doom. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times, and I really don't like that movie. I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull more. I know that's heresy. But I don't think either are very good movies, but I have more fun watching Crystal Skull than I do watching Temple. And I don't have a lot of love for this franchise. That's not true. I love Raiders and I love Last Crusade. I think those are both brilliant movies. They're also very of their time, and I don't think we need like an 80s adventure movie in 2020. Let's make a 2020 adventure movie.
Yeah, I'm into that. Koho.
I stand with Robert in the heresy. But
I didn't ask you a question yet. Oh, you're just gonna start talking? Interesting. No, Koho. The question I'm gonna pose to you is: would you rather see Indiana Jones 5 or Dora 2?
I need a clarifying question. Is Danny Trejo in Dora 2?
Of course.
Okay, then Dora 2. But
even without that question, honestly, I might still take Dora 2.
Same.
That's
But
not a
like,
joke.
I think when it comes to Indiana Jones 5, I might be in the minority of people who don't hate the idea of doing one more. I think it's unnecessary. It feels like, to me, doing an Indy 5 would be the same as how I felt when they announced Toy Story 4. It doesn't feel necessary, but I feel like it could end up being that Toy Story 4 where it ends it on a good note, because I think the odd-numbered indies are amazing. I think the even-numbered indies are really rough. So, like, I think I would love to see them wash the taste of Crystal Skull out of people's mouths. Crystal Skull tried to end it, and it didn't end it satisfyingly enough for me. Like, sure, we got him with Marion, but then we gave Shia LaBeouf the fedora, and he's kind of terrible in that movie. So, like, I wouldn't mind an old man Logan sort of indie movie where we get, like, one last thing, and I don't need him swinging from whatever or doing a whole lot of crazy stunts.
Well,
but
even
like,
if you did want that, it's not happening. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, if
you
he's
don't have the insurance budget for that.
If he survived 3 plane crashes, I doubt Indy 5 is going to be the thing that kills him. But I think one more Indiana Jones isn't the worst idea. It could be nice to give him a proper send-off, a proper finale where, like, we can finally lay Indy to rest. Now, I don't actually want to see Indiana Jones die, but, like, I wouldn't mind see him do one last thing. And
so you want method acting? You want method acting to the full extent?
Caleb Koho, Harrison Ford's corpse.
Harrison Ford is.
I already saw that in Force Awakens.
Harrison Ford is 77 years old. This weekend, we have to watch him paddle down a boat with a dog in it. I don't think he can continue on. Like, oh God!
But
like,
again, I understand, like, the stunt levels of things. He can't do a lot of the things that he did originally. He's not going to be flying a plane in front of a CGI green screen like he did in Last Crusade. But, like, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind him going on one more adventure with an older mud that's not Shia LaBeouf. He doesn't necessarily need to. Like, an indie, I guess I'm not, if I'm going to Indy 5, I'm not going into Indy 5 expecting what I see in Last Crusade.
That's good.
That is good. But I maybe a more story-centric indie that just is a quieter indie movie would be cool. I don't know.
Indy fights Nazis. You can't do it.
He didn't fight Nazis in the last one, though. Nazis were all
and it's terrible.
He fought the Russians.
And it's not good.
Well, he didn't fight Nazis in 2.
Are you going to have him fight the North Koreans today, or what?
No, you're right. He didn't fight Nazis in 2 either, and that movie's even worse than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So.
That is heresy, and we are going to move on to the next topic. Sure. But before we do move on to the next topic, I wanted to just pause for a brief moment to let everybody know that this video now is up to 5 likes and 1 dislike. So thank you so much for the dislike. I was waiting for it all episode. It finally came. Thank you so much. Hi. Bless you. If you want to be on the show, I'll send you the link. I'd be happy to have you on. We can do some really cool things, I think, working together. So,
Malcolm,
thank you.
I'll go ahead and send you the link right now, buddy.
I can't. Oh, Jesus.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wait. I can't wait for 2 more after this whole comment. So let's move on to the last main topic of the day, and that is going to be something I'm very excited to talk about. Rick Moranis officially is back for a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids reboot at Disney, I believe on Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken. This is great news. This is the first time Moranis has been in anything in a while. He was unofficially retired, I believe, to take care of his kids after his wife passed away, which is honestly, like, that's a amazing thing. You're one of the most famous people in the world. You give it all up just to take care of your kids. I love it. I think he's great. I wish he would be in the new Ghostbusters movie. He probably won't. But for him to come back for this is great. I'm super excited. I've never been a super huge fan of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movies. I liked the first one. Didn't really care about the other ones. But I'm still excited for this nonetheless. Cody, I'll go to you first. What do you think?
Not really big on these movies. I grew up with them, but they were never the ones that I went to. So, but I'm happy Rick Moranis is coming back. Like, I feel like he can definitely be utilized, especially in these like movies coming out, like in this era of movies. It's just, I just wish he was returning to something else. Like I just don't care for these movies that much. So that's the only thing I'm a little hesitant for. I think it's, you said that he put off acting for his wife passing away, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's two different people that do. Like Liam Neeson poured into his work after and like took everything he possibly could because he kept his mind off it, but Rick decided not to. So I respect the decision, and I think maybe this is a good entry piece for him to come back to and see where he goes. So no, I will definitely see the movie. It's just not like my franchise that I grew up on that I absolutely love. So, but it's exciting to see him back because he hasn't been around for, gosh, when was his last movie?
Brother Bear.
That's
2.
a great question. Was it Brother Bear? So 2003?
I think Brother Bear 2. I think he was in both.
Like
I
last
don't
time
think
he
it was.
was on screen though, like
Oh, like the
I'll-
90s, Little
I'll
Giants,
look
right?
it up. I'll look it up.
okay, but that's
so-
impressive. Like it's exciting.
So Koho, I'll go to you next. What are you thinking?
I'm excited to see him back. I wasn't really a fan of the Shrunk movies. I saw the first one, thought it was okay. It's not made for my generation. It's an older, like it's a various 80s thing. So I wasn't really my cup of tea, but I love him in like Little Shop of Horrors, and like I love Rick Moranis as the actor, and like if this is like, it's like a nice step to get him back in acting is to come back to a role that he knows how to do in his sleep and come back and like riding a bike, play a character that he loves and obviously loved enough to do multiple movies of, and then bring that story back and tell a new story for the next generation with that character. I think is a great way to get him back because I honestly would just love to see him back in more things. I love the dude. He gave up acting for the most respectable reason, and I'm happy that he thinks he's ready to come back. And I will fully support him in any movie he's in.
So his wife died in 1991. His last on-screen live-action film was Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, which was the third movie. That was in 1997. After that, he did Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2. And then he did one episode. He voiced Dark Helmet in one episode of The Goldbergs in 2018. So I don't watch that show, but that's pretty cool. So, yeah, this is going to be the first time back in quite a while. Robert, what about you?
Well, I've seen 3 movies that he's in, and it's Ghostbusters and Brother Bear 2.
Yikes.
So I know of Rick Moranis. I just haven't. I've never seen a Honey I Shrunk film. That's just not what my family watched. And I'm excited that he's coming back. I guess maybe I'll see the other ones before I've seen this one. Maybe I'll see this one. Maybe I won't. But other people are excited about it, and that makes me happy.
They're all on Disney Plus, so you can check them out on.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Vail.
Just kidding.
I was about to say you definitely do. Okay, so guys, Rick Moranis, that'll be exciting. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I think the world seems to be pretty exciting. Or pretty excited. So we will move on to the final topic of the day, which is the movies coming out next week in theaters. We always look ahead to see what's coming out. And this weekend, we've got 2 wide release films and then a limited expanding. That one's The Lodge. We talked about it the last time we were on, so we don't really need to go through that again. But the 2 new wide releases, first off, is The Boy 2. Actually, let me rephrase. Brahms, The Boy 2. This is the sequel to, I want to say, the 2015. Am I a Warzone player? Is it 2015? I'm getting a nod that it was 2015. Guys, I saw The Boy in the theater.
I'm sorry.
I think I have seen that movie.
I was by myself in the theater. I saw it on like a Tuesday afternoon at like 2 o'clock.
Was this at Marcus Sackville Cinema?
It was at Marcus Sackville Cinema.
Oh.
And I couldn't tell you shit about what happened in it, what it was about. I remember there was a creepy doll and somebody died, and then the parents, like, these people thought the doll was like, they were treating it like it was real.
Can I say some things that I think I've seen in a movie like this, and you tell me if what I'm saying sounds familiar?
Sure.
I think this is the one where this old couple like hires this woman to like babysit their kid, and it's the doll,
yes,
not the actual kid, because the kid died a long time ago.
Yes,
and as soon as the parents like leave, they drown themselves, and then she sees the doll moving and shit. It turns out there's a middle-aged man living in the walls.
That's right.
Spoiler alert! Right, I've seen this movie.
Yes, that is 100% what happened in that movie. Thank you, Robert. So anyway, Brahms was the name of the boy.
That never happens.
What'd you say?
I just did a synopsis of a horror movie. That never happens.
Yeah, that's weird.
I thought you were about to make a joke that was like you were going to describe like Chucky. And that was the plot of the movie.
No, I've legit seen this one.
Yeah, no. So I saw the first one in the theater. I haven't seen it since. I have no desire to see this one. I probably will, only because I've slacked really bad this year on like seeing 2020 movies, even the bad ones. Like I usually am like pretty good about coming on the show and being like, hey, that movie's shit. But I haven't really done that a lot this year. So I think I'm going to check this one out and see what happens. Even though it looks just awful. I'd rather watch this and laugh at how bad it is than see something like Downhill and be like, oh, that could have been so good. Cody, what about you? Are you jumping at the theater to go see Brahms, The Boy 2?
So my story on The Boy was I managed an AMC theater, and this movie came out, and I got into an epic rant with one of my coworkers that said it was one of the best horror movie films he's ever saw. And I said, sorry, I will not support a movie that its concept makes no freaking sense. If I walk into a room and somebody says, hey, I have you a job, you have to watch my doll, I'm leaving, because those people are clinically insane. And two, if the doll starts moving, you smash it against the wall and move on. Again, the whole movie came out, and then I love Collider because they were like, The Boy 2, they're all excited about it. I remember Collider. Don't try to fool me. You shit on this movie in 2015, and now you're excited because the director's coming around. Please shut your face. It's terrible. I will not see this. Why? Why's The Boy back? The boy, like the concept.
The boy is back in town, and this time he's fatter than ever.
It's
funny. The first one.
When they announced this, I thought they were joking. Then they saw the preview, and I thought they were still joking. It's real. Please don't go see it. Save your money. Go watch Sonic. I'm thinking about taking my son to go see Sonic. Go see that, because I think that's going to be a better time than The Boy 2. Or what is it? Brahms, The Boy 2? Like it has to have that title?
Brahms, The Boy 2. Koho.
Terrible.
Your thoughts on Brahms? Do you like Brahms? Do you want to babysit Brahms? What do you think?
I think Brahms is one of the greatest classical composers to ever make music. I think this movie is shitting all over the legacy of the composer Brahms by sharing his name. This looks, whoo boy, this looks rough. And I do not plan on seeing it. Like Cody said, go see Sonic. Sonic's fun. At least you'll laugh.
That's accurate. If you don't want to go see Sonic, though, and you want to see another family-friendly film, there is another movie coming out this weekend. It's called The Call of the Wild? That is what it's called. I had it right. Harrison Ford and a motion-captured doggo. And if you don't know what I mean, this doggo is very CGI, and I saw a video the other day on Twitter. It was a special feature of this movie hosted by Harrison Ford. A human man, did the motion capture for this dog. I'm not even joking. I think I retweeted it. Follow me at Tim Loves Movies, and the tweet was something along the lines of, it's way too early for this nightmare. And it's a video of a human man in a motion capture suit holding a bone going like this to Harrison Ford.
Jesus Christ.
I'm so cute. Well, number one, I have to see this movie because it features a doggo. If I don't go, my wife will slit my throat in my sleep. So we have to go see the movie because it's all about the doggos. But the CGI man thing really weirded me out when I saw it. I'll see if I can find it while I ask Koho how he feels about this movie.
Yeah, no, I saw the trailer for this, and I thought Andy Serkis was really in need of work because that CGI doggo is very CGI, and it hurts my eyes to look at that CGI of a dog. That was rough. I don't know why Harrison Ford took this movie. I think he had a grandkid that read The Call of the Wild and went, "Hell yeah, Gramps, you should be in that. Then you should pick up a fedora and a bullwhip and do Indy 5 because I want to go to college." But I don't know. This looks fine, I guess.
Okay, Cody, what about you?
I didn't know the CGI dog thing. I've been watching it and said that is a super CGI dog. Like, that's insane. But I can just see Harrison on the set and be like, I need a real dog. Like, I need something to act with and make it a human. Like, I see him just cutting dogs, like telling them, like, you can't work here. Like, kicking them off the stage until they have to bring like a key grip to put on the suit and play the dog. Like, that is insane. Like,
so I did find the video. I'm
What was
gonna
the
try my best to CGI dog or CGI lion. Can you watch again?
Dog. 14,000 times.
Okay, so to start off, you'll notice that is Harrison Ford and the man in the motion capture suit.
Can you take us out of the room, Koho, so that we can just see him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, do that. Okay. So you'll see the man closer to the door. I'm going to hit play. We're not going to have sound on this. We're probably going to get copyright on this, but so you'll see he's playing with the dog, but oh, that's a man and he's now a dog. And Harrison Ford is really excited about this. I'm a little fucking terrified. But that's what we're getting.
I don't feel safe anymore. I don't. Yeah, he was.
Figure something out. That's good, Garth. That was very good, Garth.
Oh, Garth, you're becoming one of my favorite people in the comments. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
Wise fetus strikes again.
I refuse to work with dogs.
We'll work it out. I think Andy Serkis is pissed that he didn't get the chance to play this role as the dog. But yeah, I know I don't want to see this movie, but I think I'm going to have to see this movie just to see the CGI dog at this point. Like, oh, bad idea.
Did we go to everyone on this? I don't even know. Robert, have you spoken about this?
No, I have not, but I don't care to. I do want to mention quick The Boy. It made 6 times its budget. It made $60 million on a $10 million budget. So maybe that's why they're making a new one.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah. But
they spent
human doggos, no.
They spent all $60 million that they made, and then they're like, you know what? Now it's time to go make another one.
I will say this. The cast in The Call of the Wild surrounding Harrison Ford and the CGI doggo, Karen Gillan, Dan Stevens, Bradley Whitford, Omar Sy. It's a good cast.
I'm sorry, also, did you just say Karen Gillan as a Nebula is in this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how long, and also the guy who is doing the motion capture for the dog is actually it's Terry Notary. He's very good at this type of stuff. He did some stuff in the Apes movies. He did Kong in Kong Skull Island. He did some stuff for Avatar and the Hobbit movies. So he's done a lot of motion capture. He's a good guy, but yeah, it's a weird thing. But anyway,
it's got a 70% on Rotten Tomato.
Oh,
Do we think Terry Notary was like, I made $1 billion with the MCU and now I'm playing a CGI dog for Harrison Ford? What's my life come to?
Probably. It's possibly true. But anyway, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much for watching. We got a couple more things to talk about before we head out. Like, Cody, what's going on with Your List Sucks tomorrow?
Oh, man, what a crazy week we've had. But it's pre-recorded. It's A24 Films. It's with I didn't have to enter that circle of hell. So it's Paul Oyama's hosting it for me with Aaron J., Scott Harvey, and Dominic Rizzi. Yeah. I don't know if Paul's alive anymore or not, but that's going to be a yikes for me. So yeah, go check that one out and submit your list for overrated classics with Boatman for the following week, because hopefully that will be a better time.
We are live next week also. It's just gonna be an hour later than normal.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, Robert, what do you have going on in the world?
You can find me personally on Twitter and Letterboxd at RBRTPRK98. That's my first and last name all supposed to hear. You can find me occasionally here on Multiplex shows. And yeah, that's pretty much it for right now.
Do you know when you will be in the Schmodown?
No.
You don't know when your first match is?
I do not know when it will be airing.
Okay.
I would guess maybe right before Free For All, maybe around Free For All time, probably sometime in March. Look out for that in March at some point.
Cool. All right. And Koho, what's going on with Fandom this week?
This Sunday, we got another debut match for you, Tyler Butler versus Aaron Sellers. So that's a match you're not going to want to miss. And on Monday, the main event, we are going to determine the other team playing for the title against Necronomicon to pick up the title. It'll be Mischief Managed versus insert name here. That'll be coming out on Monday, and that will be the main event this week for your other Fandom Teams Network contender. The week after, both titles will be on the line. So we're getting very close to figuring out who our new champions are in Fandom.
I'm not at all nervous about either of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be live again next week, Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. You can expect to see some familiar faces. I think Maggie will be back. So if you were missing her this time, which I know we all just always miss her in our hearts, she will be here next week. So fear not, your sassy female counterpart will be here next week. So that'll be very
Shall return.
She shall return. Right now, she is doing things at the school in which she attends. So, but thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Multiplex Loves Movies. Koho, take us out with that sweet video.
Not quite my tempo.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't